was on Easter Monday, the 6th of April 2015. I woke up and it was just another beautiful day. I was off work. I took on well at home. My speech went slurred. I asked my sister, I shouted at her to call an ambulance. She called an ambulance, but by the time it arrived, with a TIA, often your symptoms of stroke can return or disappear. So I returned completely to normal. When I went to hospital, I had said I felt like I was taking a stroke. However, I looked young, fit and healthy, not someone who would take a stroke, and my condition deteriorated. I took a massive brainstem stroke, and as a result, when I woke up in hospital several days later, I had locked-in syndrome, which meant I was a prisoner in my own body. Whilst I could see and hear everything, I was unable to let anyone know that I was there. I couldn't communicate, I couldn't move, I felt pain, I couldn't tell anyone, I couldn't ask questions about what had happened. Being locked in and not able to communicate is the most terrifying experience I've ever had. Meeting speech and language therapy after 2.5 weeks saved my life, and with my condition, with my stroke, my temperature gauge had broken and I couldn't control my own temperature. Without being able to communicate, I couldn't tell nurses or doctors that I was burning up in my own bed. My clothes would be saturated in sweat and I would desperately want people to put on fans, but I had no way of saying that. When speech and language came in, they gave me a spell board. I was able suddenly to communicate that I wanted simple things like a fan switched on. Speech and language therapy have been with me after 2.5 weeks. With the brainstem stroke, literally every muscle in the mouth area stopped working. My lips didn't work, my tongue stopped working, I couldn't swallow at all. Every muscle that you use in your mouth to speak or eat didn't work. Speech and language therapy came in. Not only did they help me communicate, but they assessed, could I swallow? I remember the first day they came in to assess, could I swallow? I thought it was a simple function, and I was looking forward to being able to eat again. And as they put a camera up my nose and down to assess my swallow, I remember looking at a camera, a TV screen, and watching as they placed a thickened yogurt in my mouth and asked me to swallow. And it took 3 or 4 minutes for me to be able to swallow the smallest amount. And I always feel that the speech and language therapist, that only because she believed in me and could see that I was determined, she persevered and told everyone that they had to help me eat and it would help me in turn be able to talk. So she insisted that nurses would take their time, spoon feed me every day. She spoke to my partner and explained that the more I exercised my swallow, the stronger it would get. And she worked with us daily. It was a massive thing. I would have spent hours eating thickened fluids and yogurts every day just to strengthen my throat as I wanted to be able to talk again. I believe that the intervention of speech and language therapy did save my life. Through sharing my story, my journey, my voice, and speaking with the Royal College of Speech and Language Therapy, we were able to use my story to influence legislation here in Northern Ireland. We got communication, the profile of it raised in the mental capacity bill, and made sure that early intervention of speech and language therapy was given a higher priority. The government should ensure that people have a right to communicate, and it should be facilitated. From taking part in My Journey, My Voice, I feel that I've gained a lot in that I now have a new understanding of other speech conditions, and I've really enjoyed being able to share my speech condition. One of the things I've had right from early on in stroke is that people look at me and say, "Oh, but you're so normal, what's wrong?" And it's nice being able to explain that I did have a communication difficulty. I still live with a communication difficulty. I have dysarthria. At times my speech still tires. I find it difficult to talk, and often I do sound drunk, and it's nice to be able to get understanding out there of what stroke can do to your speech.